Hi, and welcome to the Boulder Academy Football Podcast, where we discuss all things football, focusing primarily on linemen. My name is Chris Bober, and this podcast is brought to you by the Boulder Academy, where our mission is to train and develop superior linemen to dominate on the gridiron. You can subscribe to the Boulder Academy Football Podcast by clicking the subscribe button wherever you find your podcast. You'll also receive weekly reminders and weekly updates throughout the season. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the little subscribe button down the left-hand corner and also the little bell, and you'll be notified whenever we drop a new video. So it's hard to believe we're two-thirds through the 2021 high school season, and in an effort to highlight superior line play, we'll be featuring an Lineman of the Week as nominated by their coach. And this week, to highlight week 6, we're joined by head coach Sam Stanley from Elkhorn North High School to talk about the Wolves' 35-21 victory of the Ralston Rams. We're also joined by senior right tackle Shan Acharya, who is nominated as their Lineman of the Week. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Really appreciate you being on the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Awesome. So, just to kind of recap where you guys are, you guys finally got the monkey off your back this week, right? Got that first W. And I know I'm looking at your schedule. The first 5 games you played are a meat grinder, man. They're all ranked opponents. Waverly, Norris, Plattsmouth, Beatrice, and Scudder, probably the top 5 teams in Class B. And you guys battled with them. You guys went down to the wire a couple times. Definitely a learning experience for you guys. Coach, tell me about going into this last game, right? I mean, it's got to be hard putting all the hard work in and not coming away with a victory. I saw you guys in the pregame, and I worked with some of your guys, some of your coaches, and you can just tell that they really, really wanted to win. What was your message going into, to keep guys positive after going 0-5?
Well, I think it's really a huge testament to the resolve of our players. Getting off to a start like that is not easy, but our players did a great job of keeping perspective and really, I know it sounds cliche, but just focusing on the process every day. We knew that the schedule was going to be really rough, but we felt that we could compete against the best, and I think at times we showed that in the early parts of the year. And really, our guys have just been able to maintain such a focus on getting better on a daily basis that our message going in last week wasn't any different than it has been throughout the season. Our guys really have done an excellent job at practice throughout the week. And I really can say that we've gotten better every week, and every week as we've progressed, we've had what we feel is our best week of practice. And that's an easy thing to do when you're winning and people are excited, but not always so easy for kids to have that level of focus and that perspective when you're battling through some tough times and seeing top 10 opponent after top 10 opponent. So we just kind of maintain the belief and the mindset that our goal is to play our best football at the end of the year hopefully into November. And we feel like that goal is very much still intact. And our kids have been working at that every single day. And so they've been really focused. And, we talk a lot about really the people in our circle, their trust, their belief is really the only thing that matters. And when a group of guys really buys into that and buys into the process and what we're trying to establish, it can be pretty special. So we're really proud of our kids for that.
Yeah, you're trying to build a culture. You're only a season and a half into this thing, so you don't have a lot of history to fall back on. So it's great to see, a win come out. Sean, what was the locker room like going, 0-5? Not easy to do, right? So tell me about how you guys as like team captains and leaders, what was your guys's, what do you guys talk about in the halls and the locker room?
It was kind of the same thing that Coach said for us. We knew the kind of team that we could be, and we knew that like through all the winter workouts and the summer workouts, the guys that we had in the locker room, and we knew that if we stayed the course and we continued to just play our butts off week by week and practice as hard as we possibly can, we knew that at some point we were going to bust the door down and that we were going to kind of come out of all that. So we all just had the message of staying positive and continuing to get better every single week, because at the end of the day, like Coach said, like in the circle, we know the kind of team that we are, the guys that we have in that locker room. So we never were negative because we put much faith in each other, and we knew that if we continue to do the right things over and over and over again, that something good was going to happen for us. So
Nice. Yeah, that's all you can do, man, is put one foot in front of the other. And football is such a team sport, so you can't control what goes on. So I'm so happy. Let's talk about this Ralston game, right? So I was down there at the game, and I tell you what, it was a battle for that, especially that first half, right? And Coach, things didn't go the way you kind of wanted, I don't think, that game, right? You had a couple turnovers early in the game. Ralston had a really good running back. Your coaches told me he looks like Darren Sproles out there, and he did. And their quarterback did a really good job too. But really, the only time they had any success was off of maybe a couple of your mistakes, like turnovers. So that first half and then the second half of the game were two different things. Tell me about the first half. What was your message to the guys, like going into the locker room and just on that field for that first half? Because it was not easy.
No, and I think that Ralston, a lot like us, they may not have had the best record, but I guess they're a well-coached group, and they've got some really good football players over there. Some of their skill players are as talented as I've ever coached against in some spots, and I feel like they played probably some of their best football on Friday night. And we knew we were going to have our hands full with that. And so, we needed to make a few adjustments defensively to kind of react to how they were playing us. And really, we always emphasize taking care of the football, and that's something that we have had some issues with early on in games this year. And but again, our kids just had the resolve to keep pushing. And I think that they knew that if we were able to play our best football, that we were going to be successful. And so the message in the locker room was pretty simple. We just needed to be us, play our best football, focus on the things that we can control, and do our jobs to the best of our ability. And I think we definitely kind of settled into that as the game went on.
Yeah, Shan, you're a team captain, 2-year starter. What was your reaction to how things went that first half? What were you saying to your teammates?
Just kind of like what Coach said about, we know what we do, and I get, like, my message to the guys is just to keep pushing. Like, we've been in so many situations, and we've been in so many worse situations than what was going on in that first half, that I like we all knew, and like we all kind of had that look in our eyes that we got this. Like we've been in, like I said, much tougher situations than we were in that first half, and our message is just to stay the course and continue to play as hard as we possibly can.
Yeah, and you guys really it looks to me like you guys stuck with your game plan, right? You're a really run-heavy team. One of the guys that really stood out that game was Easton Maines, right? He's your workhorse, right? He's a quarterback. He wants the ball because he keeps it all the time, and he's you guys gotta say he's probably your best weapon over there. And I know you got Sutton, you got some other guys out there, but tell me, it feels like he decided, and him and the O-line decided that they were going to wear the other team down in the second half and take over the game. And I know he had a fumble to start the second half, I believe, and he still responded from that. Had some huge plays when you needed him to. Tell me what it's like to have Easton Maines out there and what kind of leader he is.
Easton is obviously a very special athlete. And that's evident to anybody that's going to watch our games. The other thing about Easton that I really admire is his competitive spirit and his toughness mentally and physically. He carries the ball a lot and he takes a lot of shots, and he has really throughout the course of the season, but it just doesn't slow him down. He's a very tough player, very physical runner, and he's a fantastic athlete on top of that. And so he's really improved a lot, I feel like, from last year.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Yeah, he's on.
his decision making, I feel, has improved immensely, whether it's in the read game or throwing the ball. And we know that teams are going to do everything they can to take him away. But at the same time, our offense is designed to take what the defense gives us. And we just found ways to keep the ball in his hands. And the offensive line did a fantastic job of executing at the point of attack and creating a lot of running lanes for him.
Yeah. Now, Shan, what's it like? And you got this stud quarterback in Easton Maines who's racking up all kinds of yards. I know you got him, you got Sutton, you got Kyrie on the outside. Tell me about blocking for those guys. What's it like? You have a quarterback that likes to run the balls. You take a lot of pride in trying to get him some yards.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we have a guy that wants to win as much as Easton does, and that dude he's one of the best leaders and competitors that I've been around. You just want to block him, and you just want to see him do well. And like for Kyrie, we want to try to get him the ball, as much as we can. So we want to protect Easton in that way. But no, it's to see a guy like Easton be able to succeed with, like knowing him and knowing the kind of guy that he is and the energy that he brings every day to practice. You almost want to block as hard as you can for a guy like that. So it's awesome having those two guys.
Yes, you're definitely lucky to have those guys. You're going to have more of those guys because you're still a young team. Coach, obviously I work with some of your guys in the offseason. Coach Stein, the O-line coach, came and worked with some of my stuff. I see you guys as having one of the strengths of your team, big guys, right? Offensive and defensive line. Tell me about kind of what you see happening up front. I see you got some of the older, seniors like Shan, but you also have some sophomores and juniors that are contributing too. Tell me about that mix you guys got up front.
Yeah, I think across the board, it's evident in the offensive, defensive lines, but it's really consistent with the makeup of our team across the board. Coming into the year, I would tell people I think we're going to be an experienced team this year, but we're still young at a lot of spots. We've got a great senior class that has done a great job establishing the culture of this program and kind of leading the way. But we've got a lot of young guys playing a lot of football out there as well. And so with as great as, we feel about where we're at and where we're headed, we definitely know that there's a lot of young guys out there that are just gaining from this experience, this year, whether they're sophomores or juniors.
Now, Sean, the O-line is typically a tight group, right? I've been in several locker rooms and huddles with my O-line, and some of my best friends that I still have to this day are my O-line teammates. Give me some info on your O-line guys, right? Like, who's the funny one? Who's the one that, needs to shut his mouth? Who smells? Give me some good stuff about your guys up front, because I know O-linemen like to dish it out. So this is your chance.
I think Dominic Rohn is Dom's the guy that makes us laugh, and I think Dom is definitely he's quite the character. But I would say Cole Scherer is kind of like a team dad for us. He's the one that kind of keeps us all in check and keeps us. Yeah, even if he's a junior, he acts like he's 45. So, and I would say Brock Marler. Brock Marler is like our center. He's like your typical 80s movie football player. He has like the long hair and whenever he's wearing the Letterman jacket, but he's a cool dude. And we have so many great guys on that team on that group. They're just all selfless dudes that we just love each other, and we definitely have some characters on that offensive line for sure.
Yeah, man, the old line's a tight group, man. You go out, when I was in high school, that's back when the old country buffet was a big deal, right? So we're up in South Omaha, we don't have much money. It's like, hey, listen, we got $8. Let's go to the old country buffet, and we would tear that thing down, man. So there's something about being an old line in high school. Now, Coach, looking at the rest of this season, right? As hard as the beginning of your season was, you got some possibilities to finish out here. You got games coming up against Mount Michael, Elkhorn, and Roncalli, and these are all district games, right? Obviously, the goal would be to get to the playoffs. And tell me how you see this laying out. I know you're not going to give predictions or anything like that, but what's your message to your team saying how we're going to finish this season?
I think it's pretty simple for us and pretty consistent with what our message has been all year long. We need to get better every day, and we need to take strides in certain areas. But at the end of the day, what it's about for everybody is playing your best football at the end of the year. That's the beautiful thing about the way our league is set up is you just got to get your foot in the door. You get your foot in the door and play your best football at the end going into the playoffs, and a lot of things can happen. So we know that those goals are still intact. We've got some challenges ahead of us still, but at the end of the day, it's all about us, and it's all about us just taking care of what we can take care of and improving in the ways that we need to, and having that level of focus and attention to detail on a daily basis at practice. And again, we've been super, super happy about how our guys have handled that. So we just got to keep plugging away. We got to keep plugging away, and we know there's going to be more tough moments ahead of us. But another thing that I think our guys have taken away from these 2 years is they've gotten comfortable being uncomfortable. They've faced a lot of tough situations. And, it kind of goes back to Friday. Like, yeah, the game did not get off to a great start for us. But I don't think anybody was really too worried about it at that point, because our guys have experienced tough situations their entire career, and they've become comfortable being uncomfortable, and they know how to push forward and thrive in those situations. And that's something that really excites us, that we think we've got a pretty mentally tough group that's going to stay the course no matter what's ahead of them. So we just got to keep pushing and keep getting better every day, and compete against ourselves.
Yeah, and we had an old ball coach came talk to us at the Chiefs one time, and he was an old Marine, and he talked about embracing the suck. And those are the best times. Those are the times you remember, right? I played all the way to the Super Bowl, and what I remember the most is the hard stuff and how you got through it with your teammates. So you guys got to go through that so that you can kind of build up that scar tissue to toughen up against it. So it's tough to go through, but it's definitely worth it. What I will say is you got 3 more opportunities to play underneath Friday Night Lights, and those are 3 very special opportunities, right? And all you can do is go out there and do your best at those 3 and see what happens. So that's I love the message. I love how you're building that culture. Now, Shan, let's talk about you here for a second. You're a senior, and coach, you probably know this. I work with Shan a lot in this offseason, and I don't know if I've seen a guy that is willing to put in the time and work harder than Shan is. I mean, really, his improvement, because Shan played with my son at Elkhorn his first couple years, and the improvement he's made from then until now, and obviously he's grown into a full-grown man. He's a big dude, but he has really taken the time to put the effort in, and you're seeing results on the field. I mean, I hope you can see it. I see it. But Shan, tell me about, I know you're probably going to have an opportunity to take the next step at the next level. How's recruiting going for you? How do you see I'm not asking you where you're going, but how do you see the process going forward for you, and what are you liking about it so far?
It's going really well for me. Like, just kind of taking it at a time. I really and I like the schools that I've been in contact with. I've kind of told them that, like, decision wise, I kind of want to wait till the end of the year, until after the season, because I really want to focus on winning with my teammates. But so far, it's going. I've been hearing from a decent amount of FCS. There have been Division II, just like Nebraska's. I've been talking as well, but it's been really good communication with those schools. But like for me, like recruiting wise, I would say like probably when I'd make a decision, it'd probably be sometime after the season for sure. But it's been going really well, and it's been nice hearing from schools that you like used to watch on TV as a kid, or like schools that you never really thought would show interest in you, and they're sending you mail and stuff. So it's going well for sure.
That's awesome to hear. And of course, you see stuff out there, and it's just shared, and reports come out and stuff like that. And I always try to give young people in this situation advice is that you're a senior year of high school football, and coach, you've done this too. It's probably the best year of football you're ever going to play. Like, I played college, NFL. My favorite year ever was my senior in high school. I mean, it's so cool. So go out there and enjoy that. That's the best part. The rest of it will take care of itself. you already have life-changing opportunities in front of you that are still going to be there. Just go out and enjoy with your high school teammates, finishing out this season, however it finishes out, because that's the best part. I just, that's my advice. That's my experience. And I here for both of you guys, as we kind of wrap this up, just observing, I get to observe a lot of football. I really feel like Elkhorn North is building something really great over there. And my daughter's still at Elkhorn High School. My son went to Elkhorn High School, but I look over what you guys are doing. You're building it the right way. You have a great community supporting you, a great staff, a great administration. I know that because those guys are all Elkhorn guys, and you guys are on the up and coming. And you might not be getting the wins right now because it's hard to win a football game, but you're putting in all the things that someday, hopefully soon, that those things are going to pay off. And I'm really excited to see how you guys are going to continue to grow. I know this season and seasons beyond, but I'm going to be watching for you guys, pulling for you guys. I think, Coach, I think you're doing a great job over there. You got a lot.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate those kind words.
Yep, and Sean's one of those guys that I think you're going to look back as a guy who laid one of those cornerstone bricks to build this program. And he might not be able to see all the benefits this year, but he will when he looks back at all the difference he made. So
there's no doubt, and I think that that's one thing we're just super proud of, and as a staff and really as a team, we're super fortunate for our community, our administration, our entire team at Elkhorn North. But our seniors have been fantastic. We got a great group, and we still got things left to do this year. There's no doubt, and we got things that we're going to accomplish this year. But Graham, it's great to have a group like this laying the foundation because there's going to be a lot of great things accomplished at Elkhorn North, and it'll all be done on the shoulders of these guys.
I'm right there with you. So, guys, thanks for coming on. I'm going to spread the word about Elkhorn North. I'm going to share this everywhere, and I'll send it back to you guys for you guys to share with all your people, too. I love people to come out and watch you guys and support you. So thanks for being on the podcast. If I can do anything for any of you guys or any of your guys, you know where I am. I'm around. I'll be there for you guys. So go out and have a great week. Best of luck this week against Michael. Go get that win, and we'll be rooting for you, okay?
All right. Thanks a lot, Chris. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.